What's up guys, Houndish here with this week's vendor reset breakdown for the 20th of June, running up to the 27th of June. We're going to take a look at the best weapon rolls, as well as any very well rolled armor that you can pick up this week. So first up at the Crucible Quartermaster, we have a pretty nice B29 party favor. So we've got Reflex Scopes, Steady Hand IS, and OEG Rifle Scope. Outlaw or Feeding Frenzy, which is pretty cool. Two different reload bonuses right there, depending on your preference. We have Small Bore in the middle, or Rifle Barrel right there. So you can get a ton of range. Small Bore will give you pretty decent stability and range, but you do drop that magazine size. Those stats are, fairly good. Getting high stability rolls on this thing, or good ones, isn't particularly easy. Finally, we have Head Seeker. So overall, this is, one of the better rolls. Shame that you can't get higher stability in the middle tree right there, but it may be something to play around with. May as well point out the palindrome for the week. So in the sides we've got Steady Hand, Sure Shot, and Quick Draw IS. We've got Hot Swap right there, or Last Resort. We've got Reinforced Barrel, so no rifle barrel. You are going to lose a bunch of stability right there. Also high caliber rounds and Reactive Reload. So Reactive Reload, I mean, you've got that max range. It may be something that some folks want to try out. They aren't the worst bonuses in the world, but this isn't the god rolls that we've seen previously. The hero formula this week is pretty interesting. So we've got Red Dot ORA, Ranged Lens, and Reflex Scopes. We've got Rodeo, that reduces the severity of the weapon's recoil, or Who's Next. And then we've got Perfect Balance, pretty good stability right there, or Explosive Rounds, and Reactive Reload. So that right there is going to make it pretty nice for PvP. Plus, if you want some PvE stuff, or you like explosive rounds in general, you've got the option. This is a pretty nice roll overall. I mean, Rodeo isn't fantastic for this kind of weapon, but, it's okay. It's pretty good. For any fusion rifle fans, each new day may be okay, that kind of rhymes, but we've got Reflex, Red Dot ORA, and OEG scopes, knee pads, which is pretty nice on fusion rifles, or life support, which again is an interesting one. I would personally go with knee pads. We've got braced frame right there for a ton of stability at the expense of mag size, so no range drop off, which is good, or rifle barrel for a ton of range if that's your kind of thing, and finally hot swap. So yeah, overall pretty decent fusion rifle. 44 curtain call this week is pretty nice. So we have linear compensator, CQB, and soft ballistics. We've got replenish right there, which is going to be pretty nice in PvP, or knee pads. Shame that they're on the same slot. Both very good bonuses potentially. We've got rifle barrel, so you're going to get the upper end of that range. It's about as far as this thing will go. We've also got lightweight right there, and finally full auto. So if you're into your full auto shotguns and you want one with decent range, options of replenish or knee pads, then this is definitely something to look at. The Vanguard Quartermaster Parthian shot is pretty decent this week. So we've got Red Dot ORA 2, Quick Draw IS, and OEG scopes. We've got Outlaw, or Partial Refund right there. Outlaw is pretty nice on this thing. In the middle we've got braced frame, so you do get a ton of stability. It drops the mag size a little bit, but it's not too bad, especially considering you have Outlaw. You also have a lightweight, and finally Head Seeker. So if you wanted, high stability with Head Seeker, fast reloads, pretty good options right there for the Parthian shot. The whale from FWC this week is pretty nice. So we've got Steady Hand IS, Sure Shot IS, and Quick Draw IS. Up next we have Explosive Rounds, or Lightweight. In the middle we've got Hammer Forged for decent range, or Outlaw, and finally we have Rangefinder. So this is your kind of thing in PvP. We've got Rangefinder, Hammer Forged. It's not quite rifle barrel, but this thing won't hit max range anyway. Explosive Rounds, if that's your kind of deal, you can always switch it out for Outlaw. Overall, it's a pretty interesting hand cannon. The Waltz this week may interest some people, so we have MD Reflex, Steady Hand IS, and OEG scopes. We've got high caliber rounds, which is always good. Also have lightweight right there. In the middle, small bore, so that range and stability boost at the expense of mag size, which isn't too bad because you do have pretty high mag on this thing. You also have the option of Feeding Frenzy right there, and then finally Head Seeker. So considering that magazine size is so high in the first place, small bore is actually somewhat of an appealing option right here. You're not going to have super high stability, but this could be pretty good for PvP. The weighting has some potential for PvP right here. So we've got Reflex Scopes, Red Dot ORA 2, and OEG scopes. We have Enhanced Battery, or Snapshot. In the middle we've got Perfect Balance, or Performance Bonus right there. And finally Hidden Hand. So I feel like Performance Bonus could be pretty good in the Crucible, because of the special ammo situation. So if you're willing to trade out that increased stability for Performance Bonus, I mean, you've got Snapshot, you've got Hidden Hand. It's a pretty good fusion rifle. Extremophile this week from Dead Orbit is pretty nice potentially for PvP. So we've got Red Dot ORA, Steady Hand IS and OEG scopes, high caliber rounds which I really rate on this archetype of auto rifle. The Extremophile with high cal in general is a very, very good auto rifle. We have lightweight right there. Small bore, so that range and stability boost is actually pretty nice on this kind of auto rifle. You also have the option of rodeo, and then finally rangefinder. So all in all, this is a pretty good auto rifle for PvP, one of the better rolls we've seen of the Extremophile for sure. We've got a Keystone here, which I think would be pretty nice in PvE probably. So we've got Red Dot ORA, Focused Lens, and OEG Rifle Scope. We've got explosive rounds or lightweight, in the middle small bore or outlaw, and then finally crowd control. If you can live with that base stability right there, I mean having crowd control with outlaw and explosive rounds is pretty nasty in PvE. You could opt for small bore perhaps if you want a bit more stability. That bonus range isn't going to help you a ton though, and you do drop the mag, so I really think the explosive rounds, outlaw, and then crowd control is the way to go on this thing for PvE. Bitter Edge is also pretty interesting here, so we've got Sightsys, Short Gaze, and Taxis right there. Up next, Armor Piercing Rounds or Snapshot, then we've got Perfect Balance or Clown Cartridge, and then finally Firefly. So perhaps for PvE stuff, or PvP if it's your kind of thing, you know, Firefly with Clown Cartridge, I think that's pretty appealing, and then Snapshot, Short Gaze, pretty nice sniper rifle. Finally, at New Monarchy, a couple of things worth mentioning. We have the Free Will with Steady Hand, Sure Shot, and Quick Draw IS. We've got High Cal or Quick Draw. In the middle, Small Bore, Third Eye, and then finally we have Rangefinder right there. So the best you're going to do in terms of range is Small Bore, which doesn't drop the max size. You get a boost to stability and a bit more range. It's not super fantastic, but for fans of the, you know, the lower impact archetype of hand cannon, this may be something to look at. Bad Counsel might be pretty fun for PvE stuff in particular. We've got Linear Compensator, Accurized, and Aggressive Ballistics, Hand-Loaded or Quick Draw, and then we've got Hammer Forged or Knee Pads, and finally Crowd Control. So for PvE, you know, maybe Crowd Control with Hammer Forged and then Hand-Loaded stacked together for that, you know, decent range. This could be pretty fun. An Impeacher as well might be pretty nice if you like the lower impact sidearms. We've got Rangefinder, Fitted Stock for more stability, or Cascade, which is, you know, pretty nice on special weapons. We got Flared Magwell, Quick Draw, which is definitely good for sidearms, and then True Sight, Fast Draw, and Quick Draw IS. So overall, this is it's a pretty decent roll. So that about sums up the weapon rolls for the week, guys. Bit of a mixed bag as always, but now let's take a look at the best armor you can pick up for the week. So we're going to look at the 98% up to 100% roll stuff. From Eris Morn, we've got the Curse of the Hidden Warlock Bond with Discipline Strength, and that's a 98% roll. We have a 98% roll on the Diaspora Shell from Dead Orbit with Intellect Strength, a 99% roll on the High Command Helm from New Monarchy for the Titan with Discipline Strength, a 98% bond for the Warlock from the Crucible Handler with Intellect Strength. For Tyra's artifacts, we have Memory of Silumar with just Discipline at 75%. We have Memory of Yolda with Intellect Strength at 89%, and then a must-buy if you don't already had one, Memory of Scurry with Intellect Discipline, and that's 107% sorry, overall, which is pretty damn good. Finally, at the Speaker, we have a 98% roll on the Gunslinger's Cloak with Discipline Strength. We also have a 98% roll on the Sunsinger's Bond with Intellect Discipline right there from the Speaker. So that sums up this week's vendor reset, guys. That is the best stuff. It's a bit of a hit and miss week. There's a couple of interesting things in there, but not one of the best weeks, especially for armor that we've seen so far. But if you have enjoyed the video and found it useful, a like and comment below is appreciated. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see a lot more Destiny content. But for now, you guys have an awesome week.